but I don't know how many of you know this story. So let me give you a little bit of background. Buck, you may or may not know this story. 3 years ago, Florida passed the so-called "Don't Say Gay" bill in the state of Florida. Disney sued, and it turned into a major cultural flashpoint, such that live on air on ESPN, which is owned by Disney, they paused to have a moment of silence in allyship with LGBTQI people who were upset by this.
Can I just also point out the media went full throttle so that they could convince people? The bill is the Parental Rights and Education Bill. It's HB 1557. It's
Correct.
parental rights in education. Nowhere does it say you can't say gay, and it's not even the name of the bill. So it was a pure propaganda operation.
Completely accurate. And I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to hammer this home because I think it has been discussed recently as we've been talking about what books. Remember, they had the Supreme Court argument, and even some people on the left were like, man, that's crazy that you would be reading these books to kindergartners. All the Florida bill did, Ron DeSantis was 100% right on this. All the bill did was say there will be no sex or gender instruction for kindergartner, first, second, third grade kids. I would even argue, I've got a fourth grader. He's 10. I think you could expand it probably to fourth and fifth grade too. Until a kid gets to puberty-ish age, fifth grade, sixth grade, I think is certainly early a little bit, but at least that's in the vicinity of when kids might become aware of puberty. Why in the world would any public school need to be teaching gender, sex-based in any way issues to classrooms?
Well, it's a question that we actually have to keep answering, right? It's not a rhetorical question. Why do they want to do this? Because it's indoctrination, because it actually goes to the core of the ideology they're trying to present, which is that, it does not make sense, but a lot of things don't make sense that people ardently believe, right?
Yes.
Democrats think socialism is going to work this time. Anyway, a lot of things don't make sense, but one of them is that doctors get the gender of the baby wrong.
Yes.
And so it starts from the very youngest age that somehow they can reverse bioengineer this, and they need to get people as young as possible because otherwise it's too clear that this is a choice or this is a psychological condition that develops as you get older. They want this to be, it is like skin color. It is an immutable thing that you must understand is a person is that way and there's no changing it, and so we must all respect it equally. It is not like skin color, as we know. It is in fact not a physical manifestation at all, even though there are people who are intersex, but that is not what transgenderism is. And now we get to why they want to push it so early and why they want to push it on such young kids. Because Clay, in their mind also, this is not about sex. This is about civil rights. This is a civil rights issue. This is like training anti-racism into second graders.
Well, we got an audio clip for that, but I think many people don't know this happened. So the reason why I'm bringing it up today is Disney has announced this morning that they are going to be building a brand new theme park, new Disney World, Disneyland, whatever it is, in Abu Dhabi. And in Abu Dhabi, in the country of the UAE, I believe, you're better at geography than me. I looked it up. In the UAE, you can be beheaded if you are gay. So not exactly a expansive view of human sexuality in the UAE.
In the UAE, you could probably say gay, but then you might be beheaded.
Yes.
That's the bad part.
Okay, so over this Florida bill, which, as Buck rightly points out, was misattributed to a "Don't Say Gay" bill. It just said kindergarten, first, second, third graders can't be gender instructed. Disney, and I don't think this got enough attention, which owns ESPN, they had a moment of silence live on the air during a women's basketball game. This is Elle Duncan, I have tagged her on Twitter to ask when we should expect the moment of silence over the new theme park that Disney is opening in Abu Dhabi. But listen to what you could have tuned in just to watch a women's college basketball game on ESPN. This is what you would have heard. This is what they did over the Florida Bill. Listen. Cut 26.
Legislation happening in Florida and across other states as well that are targeting our LGBTQI plus communities. Many of our colleagues here at ESPN have planned and organized a walkout that will be happening at 3 p.m. Eastern today. And to be honest with you, we thought we were going to come here today and really celebrate a sport that has meant so much and done so much, including for so many in the LGBTQI plus communities. But we understand the gravity of this legislation and also how it is affecting so many families across this country. And because of that, our allyship is going to take a front seat. And with that, we're going to pause in solidarity.
Okay, I'm going to play another cut for you that I've had them introduce. Buck, this is during the women's NCAA basketball tournament. You tune it in. It was South Carolina and Howard are playing. You are a parent, and you're like, hey, I want to watch this basketball game with my little girl or my little boy. You put on sports.
Yeah.
That is what you saw, okay? This was their reaction to the Florida Bill. Now Disney is building a theme park in Abu Dhabi where theoretically you could be beheaded if you are gay. But what is the necessity that ESPN must undertake here now, Buck?
First off, do we need to do a fact-finding mission? Is this going to be like Clay and Buck's excellent Abu Dhabi adventure? Do we have to show up to this new? Is Minnie Mouse going to be wearing a burqa? Like, how does this go?
It's a fabulous question. And let me say this. I don't begrudge companies that are global in nature deciding to try and reach the largest global audience. What I am opposed to is when you wag your finger and lecture all of us in America, and then your company engages in behavior which is far worse than what you are complaining about occurring here, and you are shut up and you say nothing at all about it.
Well, what you see is with the ideology of the left in America, it's all about power dynamics and who they think they can bully. Yes. And in this country, they can bully particularly what they view as a predominantly Christian and majority white, although, you know, it's not a huge majority, but they think that they can bully them as much as they possibly want to do absolutely anything that they want. And we may comply. Like we might actually just completely. That's why the gender thing, for example, matters so much to them. Because if they can get us to say that, you know what, that 6'8", 250-pound dude who thinks he's a woman because he grew his hair a little long and hasn't gotten a haircut in a while and is dunking on all the chicks on the basketball court and scoring 140 points a game, that's good. That's civil rights. That's progress. If they can make us do that, they can make us do absolutely anything. But they know that they can't actually pull this stuff off, Clay, in China. They can't pull it off in the Middle East. They can't pull it off in Africa. They can't pull off the wokeness routine in countries or continents where overwhelmingly it's one, non-white, and two, it's going to be rejected. They're going to say, no, that's crazy to us. So this is the whole thing is a scam. They don't actually mean what they say on the left.
Okay, this is even crazier, Buck. This is the game itself. So I just played the introduction of ESPN saying, we're going to have a moment of silence. This is the game broadcasters. I've never seen or heard this happen anywhere. This is on ESPN's broadcast. You are sitting down to watch South Carolina Howard women's college basketball tournament, and this is what the two game broadcasters said right after L. Duncan tossed it to them while the game is going on itself. Listen to cut 27.
Courtney Lyle, Carolyn Peck. Now, normally at this time, we would take a look back at the first half, but there are things bigger than basketball that need to be addressed at this time. Our friends, our family, our coworkers, the players and coaches in our community are hurting right now. And at 3 o'clock, about 8 minutes ago, our LGBTQIA plus teammates at Disney asked for our solidarity and support, including our company's support in opposition to the parental rights in education bill in the state of Florida and similar legislation across the United States.
And a threat to any human rights is a threat to all human rights. And at this time, Courtney and I, we're going to take a pause from our broadcast to show our love and support for our friends, our families, and our colleagues.
The game is going on right now, and that's the way it. Can you believe? I don't think this got enough attention when it happened. This was a couple of years ago. But this morning, when I saw the Abu Dhabi news, I couldn't help but think, well, this is interesting, right? If you're so opposed to the Florida bill, which, Buck, you rightly pointed out, all it did was say kindergarten, first, second, third graders were not going to instruct in education related to sex. It wasn't gay, trans, anything else, which overwhelming majorities of parents support. And that was their reaction to the Florida bill. Well, now they're building an entire theme park in a country that believes gay people should be beheaded. And I just think it illustrates the depths of the hypocrisy that there will not be a scintilla of noise that comes out of ESPN over this Disney corporate decision.
I mean, you're talking about gay people, but what do you think? How do you think it goes for you in Abu Dhabi if you walk around, you're like, no, I'm actually a they.
I don't think it's
you
well
think
received.
the authorities? I don't think. First of all, it's an authoritarian state. They detain people, they torture people, they do whatever they want. I mean, it's a nice place to visit if you're an American or European. You got a lot of money. Just don't step out of line at all, and don't talk about politics to anybody. Yeah, I mean, you think you walk around, you're like, my name isn't Steve, it's actually Sally, and like you have to use the preferred pronouns. I don't even know what they would do with you, but it would be really bad. They would not.
Well,
they would not comply.
The Gays for Gaza, they would definitely take you for a tour of their upper deck and then of the rooftop, and then they would throw you off of it.
Well, the American left is unserious about, on a global scale, LGBTQIA plus rights, because the Muslim world by and large is allowed to do whatever they want, and with no protest, no nothing. They'll never
Correct.
even, leftists in America won't even say that the motherlode of oppression when it comes to gender and LGBTQ and all that, the motherlode of it, I mean, the real is the Islamic world. They will never talk about that.
By the way, as a guy who isn't really, as you pointed out a lot, diehard sports fan, can you believe that exists? That audio on a sports broadcast network, that video, that would have even occurred? Does that just blow your mind? It blows my mind, even though I know how crazy these people are. The fact that happened still blows my mind.
I think a lot of sports viewers, which I can't speak to be one much, but I think that, Clay, they're just used to just tuning. It's like when actors used to give their opinions on things, and I'm like, I just want to see your movie if it's good. Just shut up. I feel like a lot of sports viewers have gotten used to, and maybe now this is changing. All right, they're doing some, idiotic thing, like, what are we going to do? And now just show me my sports. They tune it out.
It is wild. We'll take some of your calls. I want to tell you, though, President Trump didn't say it first. He said it loudest. His words were something to the effect of, Obamacare sucks. The truth is there are better plans, much better plans. You can replace your overpriced Obamacare plan with Ease for Everyone, the only group plan any adult in the U.S. is now eligible to join. Compare Ease for Everyone to Obamacare with a cost as low as $262 per month. You get free unlimited prescriptions, 93% of all drugs covered, available at no extra cost, including insulin. Huge savings on brand names. Free unlimited virtual primary care, urgent care with just a $30 copay. You get generous cashback reimbursements for doctor office visits, emergency room visits, and ambulance transportation. Plus, you can get that affordable health care for as low as $262 a month. Today, visit easeforeveryone.com/Clay. That's easeforeveryone.com/Clay. One more time, easeforeveryone.com/Clay. Paid for by Affordable Benefit Choices.